In the podcast, Dan Matthews discusses animal rights and his involvement with the movement as the senior vice president of PETA. They converse about how he became involved in such a young age, the distances that he has gone to in order to raise awareness, and the changes he has seen throughout the years, throughout his years of involvement in relation to this topic. The first thing that I learned about social movements through this podcast was that it's very important to know your audience and the public that you are trying to convince and spread your message to. Matthews explains how it takes years to make visible changes, but recently has seen some improvements due to this new generation who has been raised with the knowledge of PETA and its message and access to the videos and pictures that they circulate through social media and all the media outlets and sources. Alec Baldwin asked him the question of why do people continue to eat meat, even though they have seen those videos and pictures, and Matthews responds with a very well-informed answer showing that he has done his research about the public and he knows the types of problems that they need to target in order to make further advancements. He recognized that they have to make a commitment in order to look towards the future, to change those habits one by one. And wearing multiple parts, he says, is part of the position in order to bring to light those problems that the public, a lot of the public has continued to ignore. The second thing that I learned about social movements through this podcast and their conversation was that those aggressive and cutting-edge groups are the ones who make a breakthrough and will make a difference towards that cause. Throughout the video, they discuss the various strategies that PETA has employed in order to raise awareness, and many of them are quite radical and bold, such as the time that they got arrested through raiding the Calvin Klein office because he continued to ignore them through their emails and their phone calls. Even though those actions seem very agitating and aggressive, they appear to be the most effective in making a change and getting the attention of the important people who are in the position to make a difference. In conclusion, I think this podcast was very interesting and informative, especially getting to hear the perspective of someone who is in the middle of such a big social movement.